Welcome to episode 112 of Timm Talk, the podcast about the DC animated universe, co-created by Bruce Timm. I'm Chris Lord.
I'm Cameron Dexter.
And
we're back.
We're back.
We are on topic for the first time in a month.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know. We are back and even less prepared than normal.
It's hard to believe sometimes.
It really is astounding. I have basically no news. I didn't look through notes from friends. I have like one kind of bad plug.
Okay. Hey, that's all you need.
Guys, I was in Denver all weekend and I just spent 12 hours yesterday traveling. I'm exhausted as fuck, but we're here. We're so excited to be here. Can you hear the excitement in my voice?
Yes, much.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, it is nice. I missed Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I also maybe had some like slightly sad realizations about this series as I was watching episodes this week.
What, that it's almost over?
No, something different. We will get to it.
Okay.
I feel like we really don't have any news this week, though.
Let's rephrase that. We have news that we're not ready to talk about. A lot happened. We just don't.
I didn't have time.
We don't have get a good. We don't have. I mean, we don't really analyze. We just kind of summarize.
Yeah,
we don't have the bandwidth for either right now.
No, maybe did I already make notes about news things?
So we had a bunch of trailers come out this week. Oh, plus all the Oscar stuff. Black Panther won 3.
Yeah,
Oscars?
Black Panther won 3. Yeah, the winningest film of the night was Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's weird.
Yeah,
it's a fine movie.
But I mean, I'm trying to remember all the things it won for, because it won for sound editing, sound mixing.
I feel like
editing, right? Yeah,
it did win editing. Yeah,
yeah. So sound editing, sound mixing, editing, and then best actor for Rami Malek. I think if you're gonna award that movie things, those are all fair. I think Rami Malek's great.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it makes sense to give sound to the musical.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. There are other musicals this year. Well, I guess it's Mary Poppins, but I don't think they got a nomination for that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that kind of fits. And then, yeah, Black Panther won for production design, costume, and then score, which I was happy to see.
Yeah.
I love Ludwig Göransson's score on that.
Who won original song?
Shallow.
Oh, you're right.
Of course.
How could I be so foolish?
Like, I have to admit, that was a pretty incredible performance. At the end of it, I'm just like, just fuck.
Yeah.
Like, just fuck, guys. Like, honestly.
Well, you have to save it for the after party, Chris.
I did have a friend point out, and I didn't notice this when we were watching it, but a friend pointed out to me that at the introduction...
She was orange?
She was bright orange. She was dramatically orange. But on top of that, when they went to go start the song, that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper grabbed hands in front of his baby mama. Like, she was seated between them.
Amazing.
Just grabbed hands right in front of her face.
Because she also didn't. What award? Oh, it was Best Actress. The baby mama was the only one that didn't stand up when Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman won. Yeah,
and that's usually fine if you're not front row.
Oh yeah, that's problematic.
She's front row, corner chair, and didn't stand.
And how could you not? It's Olivia Colman.
I mean, that was for me the highlight of the night.
It was her speech was amazing.
Yeah,
it's so genuine and so funny. I adore her. Also, if you guys haven't seen The Favorite, go watch it. It's really
so
good.
good.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have voted that best film.
I would have picked Roma.
Well, yeah, you have to.
No, I don't have to, actually. I don't have to.
This podcast is paid for by your company.
By my company. No, as I legitimately think that was not my favorite movie last year, but I think it was the best movie that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. It's gorgeous. So, yeah.
So in our world of news.
Oh yeah.
We had a handful of trailers that I'll just kind of skim through the list real fast.
Yeah.
We had a Hellboy trailer. Looks great.
Looks fun. Yeah.
We had Dark Phoenix trailer. Just saw the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That movie's not going to be good, is it?
No. I mean, that's one of those series that when was the last time you had faith, not counting Logan, you had faith in an X-Men film?
Well, I mean, I had faith going into Apocalypse.
Okay.
Well, because I
assume I did too. I just don't remember anymore.
Right? Yeah, because it was such a horrible experience. Like, so I loved First Class. So super excited about Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past I enjoy it for what it is, even if I am sad that they didn't spend more time in the 60s, like doing classic X-Men stuff. But I was like, okay, I get what they're doing with this though, and for the most part, it's a really good execution of it. So then going into Apocalypse, like, oh, I love Apocalypse. They did a great job with Futures Past. This is a really great cast. Yeah, super excited for it. Then it's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just remember I will stand behind Olivia Munn for the rest of my life, most likely.
She's
probably
not.
not.
She's fine.
I mean, she was such an integral part of my teenage years. Rest in peace, Attack the Show. God, I miss you every single day.
Do you have like a sad song you play in your head every time you think about Attack of the Show?
Just the theme song.
Just the theme song. But like, is it like a lower key version of it?
No.
No. It's not done by like a children's opera or something like that. Like a real sad remix.
Well, it's hard because it's the song is just like technology sounds.
Okay, I've never actually.
I've never seen
Attack the Show.
It's amazing.
Never seen it.
It's something that can't exist anymore, and I understand why it's not on the air anymore.
Why can't it exist anymore?
Because it's a summary. It's a daily. What it was a daily summary of the internet.
Oh, okay.
And there's too many sites that do that now. Like Attack of the Show was, in my opinion, was the boom of nerd culture online, where we had like Gizmodo come out of it, IO9 come out of it, fucking Adam Savage. Nope, that's Mythbusters. The other
Macho Man Randy Savage,
famous host of Attack of the Show. No, there was a show called X-Play.
Mm-hmm.
Which was focused specifically in video games.
Okay.
Adam, I don't remember his last name.
Adam Scott.
Nope, not going to go into it. He left the show and just basically ran. Who owns Gizmodo? What's the parent company? Gizmodo, IO9, and someone else are all owned by not IGN. I think he just kind of went in and took over IGN.
Oh, okay.
And all of these. Comic book movie, comic book resource, all these things kind of were blossomed out of this show.
Yeah.
And so now there's too much content for them to compete with.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's so much faster to just go and scroll through a website real quick or like look at Twitter, Instagram to see what like the major things are rather than...
Yeah, because the segments were basically... The first 10 minutes of the show was Around the Net, which is, 10 minutes of YouTube.
Yeah.
Or 10 minutes of YouTube videos. And then it was Tech Prawn, was just tech reviews. The Feed, which was just kind of like discussing the big articles of the day.
Yeah.
And then they would interview 1 and 2 people, and then they would do a bit, and that was the show.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense because when it was on.
Oh my God! It started in 2003 was when Kevin and Olivia started it.
Okay, so I mean, this is well before people were watching TV online. Like this,
right?
Like you would watch a TV show to get a recap of what's online.
Yes. Yeah, and then it ended 2013, 2012.
I don't know. It went so long. It's amazing. Also, do you have a piano I can borrow to drop on the yipping dog out on the street?
No, but I think that little boat thing you have there might work.
Oh, my drink trough?
Yes.
It's a pirate ship.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said boat thing.
But it actually has like a mast with a pirate flag on it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
My mom sent it to me. Oh my God, that dog.
He's talking to the bird.
Gonna hit that dog.
It's all right.
No, I'm not gonna hit the dog.
Hey. We've talked about this already. How in Batman child abuse is 100% okay, but the second you touch a dog, you better turn that camera away. 'Cause we're not gonna see that.
I mean, thoughts on that when we get to Alita at the end of the episode?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Sorry. So news. We had the Hellboy trailer. Dark Phoenix trailer
looked not good at all. Good with the entire movie, and they like acknowledged it too. Like, oh yeah, we want to like really establish the stakes by telling you right in the trailer who dies.
Yeah.
Like, we already knew that basically. We didn't have to confirm it for us going into the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, fuck it, whatever.
I feel like that was Jennifer Lawrence's stance of like people need to know that I'm fucking done with this.
Right.
They're going to know as soon as possible. I'm not going to be part of the press circuit. I think that was probably it. I think she didn't want to be in the press circuit.
Probably, yeah.
So they showed you that she's dead. So no one asks, why isn't she here?
She out Harrison Forded Harrison Ford on this one. Not only like, okay, fine, but you have to kill me. But not only do you have to kill me, you have to tell everyone that I'm dead.
Everyone has to know immediately. Like, we can't make it the first scene. Like, no. Before the movie, they're going to know.
Yeah. Write me out of this as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like with that movie, though, is I love their costumes. Mm-hmm. Because it's the Grant Morrison new X-Men run inspired, or I guess Frank Quietly, technically. But I'm like, okay, those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
The rest of it's going to be garbage, though. Absolute garbage. And we had a new Shazam trailer that came out literally today.
Yep.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
I chuckled.
I'm at not peak, but I can't get any more excited.
Yeah, it's not something that I'm dying to go see. I mean, obviously we're going to see it. It looks entertaining.
I figured out the perfect analogy of what it is.
Okay.
Of reaching peak excitement. Have you ever played? Oh God, I realize it before I even said it this time. Have you ever played competitive Tetris?
What if I told you that not only have played competitive Tetris,
have you?
But that I am a world-renowned champion at competitive Tetris.
I mean, I would believe the first part.
No, Cameron, I've never played a competitive Tetris. Like, this is what I love, is when I'm like pitching you to like my coworkers, because obviously those who follow us in social media know that I brought Cameron to our Oscar party. Mm-hmm. But like my friends, like my coworkers ask me who I'm bringing. Like, I'm bringing my friend Cameron. He's my podcast co-host. He's awesome. He's this incredible animator. He's like super artistically talented. Like, look at all of his work. Like, oh, he sounds amazing. Like, no, he's incredible. Also, he's somehow nerdier than I am. And I'm like, Cameron, I'm the nerdy guy in the office.
Yeah.
I've had people like ask me in meetings, like, oh, hey, Chris, like this thing has something loosely to do with Comic-Con. Can you tell us about Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the nerdy guy, and I had to be like, no, he's nerdy. Mm-hmm. He's real nerdy.
I like to normalize the weird.
That is a very good way of describing yourself. Yes. Yeah. And look, I'm not criticizing you too. You own it in this fantastic way.
Oh, I mean, I've been owning it since Comic-Con.
This is true.
That was the point when I'm like, oh, this is okay. And then when I moved to LA,
I was born this way.
Yes. Thank you, Lady Gaga, for finally making a song for me.
The Gaga.
So
okay, I'm gonna regret asking this, but please explain
what I was
competitive Tetris and what it has to do with this podcast.
So when you
today.
when you're playing against someone in Tetris and they fill a line, you have a gray line that pops up at the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
And then you don't have to get anywhere past that, but you have to clear that in order to continue moving on. Okay. So the analogy I was trying to go with is you have the Tetris board. When it's clean, I can fill it. I can fill that bar all the way to the top, and that's peak excitement. But with DC films now, there's so many stacked gray bars at the bottom that I can't get any more excited, but I'm nowhere near peak excitement anymore. Does that make sense? Is that a good visual representation of what I'm feeling inside?
That is one of the most niche analogies I've ever heard. Cameron, you understand how analogies work, right? Like, you are supposed to take something specific and make it broad so that people can understand it. But no, somehow you found something more niche than the Shazam movie.
Hey, it's not niche right now because a game just came out on the Switch called Tetris 99, which is a Tetris Battle Royale game. And it's amazing. You know what Battle Royale games are?
No. Is it like Smash Bros?
No, it's the Fortnites, the PUBGs.
Oh.
It's you're in a 100-person arena.
Wait, so there's 100 people playing Tetris at the same time?
Yes. That's why it's Tetris 99, because it's you and you're competing against 99 players.
How does that even work?
You're just kind of paired with one. I assume I haven't played it yet. You're paired with one or two people, and it's just like that little group. And once you eliminate one person, then you are against another person in that group. So it's last man standing of just.
So it's a bracket.
Yes, but everyone's still playing at the same time.
Okay. Because like Fortnite and those other games, like it's a massive open world like MMORPG sort of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, I know things.
You got it.
I know really archaic video gaming terms. I don't subscribe to Reddit r/video games.
Neither do I. It's r/gaming, Chris, but I also don't subscribe to it.
I also just today finally signed up for Reddit.
Welcome.
I have been kind of actively avoiding it for a long time.
That's how I was.
Because I kind of figured that I would get absorbed into it. And then I realized that it would actually be very useful for work in a lot of ways in terms of like finding new content to work on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I should go ahead and sign up for it.
Yeah, it's a great curator website.
Yeah, so maybe now I'll be like more involved in like the DCAU Reddit too, because I looked at it a little bit and it's good for people. Also, I just realized the bird you referenced there. There's a bird outside the window chirping too.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Did you not hear that?
No, I was too focused on the fucking dog.
Because I've brought this up in the podcast once before. I have the worst crows right outside my apartment window.
Yeah.
That I know it's. I know when it's going to be a rainy day because they won't wake me up, and so I get really excited now when there's rain.
You're the only person left in LA still excited about the rain.
God, they wake me up every day at 4 a.m. on the dot. And so so when I get to sleep in to 6, it's a blessing.
Oh my god.
But because of that, I've been like hyper aware of bird noises around my apartment, and it's just like. Especially when I'm working on a video, because like if I'm dealing with audio, I have to be like super in tune with, if there's like a blip or a pause or anything like that.
Yes, please, Cameron, explain audio editing to me. Explain how that works.
I mean, I do it professionally, Chris.
You know what? I do too, actually.
Yes. Yeah, you get it. You understand the problem. So when I'm working on stuff, I get super aware of every noise.
Yeah.
And so when like there's someone mowing the lawn or someone talking or someone like starting their car up outside, I get so angry just immediately.
Should this podcast, this episode, just be about all the built-up rage you and I have right now?
I mean, that does kind of connect to these episodes.
Actually, I guess it does a little bit.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and get into them?
I guess we can start the episode now.
We can get into
Welcome to Timm Talk.
Welcome to Timm Talk. We're season 3.
Yes.
Batman Beyond, the final season.
Season 3 of Timm Talk. They've run out of points of conversation, so they're just recycling from season 1.
We're way past that. I think we're in solid like season 6 at this point now, where we're
caricatures of our own selves.
Yeah, like every other like sitcom, we just gotten meaner as time has gotten on. We've become self-parody and more obnoxious.
Yeah. I thought of one more sidetrack. I was at a brewery yesterday, and I thought of a great, like really weird Bob's Burgers episode.
Okay.
And I want to pitch it to Shane to do a spec about it.
Well, then don't say it.
I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's a fun idea.
No matter, you just want the credit out there.
Yeah. Someone else could write the spec script. I don't care.
Okay.
Because it's not important. The premise is super simple. It's Bob installs a new door for the burger place, but they installed it backwards, and so it's a push door, but everyone thinks it's a pull door, and so he starts losing business because he can't convince people to just open the door properly.
Yeah. That's very Bob's Burgers, actually.
Right?
That's like a really, really good plot for a Bob's Burgers episode.
Because the place we were down in Anaheim, and the bar we were at just had this. The door opened both ways. Like it was a full swing door. But there was a strong wind, and so people who were trying to pull it couldn't get it open. And we saw maybe 5 or 6 people just leave,
just walk away
because they couldn't open the door.
And
I'm like, holy shit, they're losing business because of wind.
Yeah,
that's great.
Wait, did I ever tell you the idea I came up with for an Archer episode?
No.
So it would be that it's Archer. This probably would have had to work back in an older season because now they do like the specialized stuff.
They can't do it in space?
No, I don't think so. But the idea would have been that they go on this mission and it involves the one woman that Ray has slept with. So it's Ray and Archer.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing.
Ray and Archer go on this mission together, and Archer is like actively trying to sleep with her, and Ray is trying to stop it because it's like just like the one, like that's the one woman he's ever slept with. And then Archer does sleep with her, but then he worries that it's going to turn him gay because it's like he assumes that's what happened to Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing episode. I think you could still pitch that one.
I probably could. I think
maybe not the second half of that.
I wrote like I haven't figured out what to. I couldn't remember what to do with the rest of it. I wrote like a scriptment for it. I might have even like written some of the stuff.
So I think the first half of that I think would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the second half, I think that could be like a maybe a running joke.
Yeah.
But maybe not like a crux point.
I remember that was a point of it, but I can't remember exactly how it panned out. It's been a while. So I just like vaguely recall it off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
If you have any script ideas.
Do you have spec script ideas for our favorite cartoons starring H. John Benjamin?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Okay.
So King's Ransom, season 3, episode 1.
King's Ransom. Yeah, like this one, this is kind of interesting.
I liked this episode. It was a story, well, at least in this world, I hadn't seen before.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting because I have a kind of a question to ask at the end of it.
Okay.
Like after I kind of summarize it, but like because the idea here is that the Royal Flush Gang is really on the outs at this point.
10 is gone.
10's gone. She now has like an honest job as a waitress at a restaurant, and then the rest of the gang is basically resorting to having to do crime for hire. So like, it's no longer for their own prestige.
Still having this elaborate mansion.
Yeah, well, I guess no, they're living out of an abandoned casino.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a massive casino sign over it, and there was like roulette tables and stuff.
I just saw the cards hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, that's why. It's kind of like the Joker. It's like, oh, where is he? Oh, in the abandoned building that's themed to their crimes.
Yeah,
maybe we should check there. Just a hunch. But yeah, so now they're stealing like really old.
Sorry.
Excuse me. You bastard. Pardon me. Professional audio editor Cameron over there who really hates it with background sound.
What's going on?
You're just gonna throw in some ASMR too, just the hell of it.
Asthma.
Actually, hang on, I need a drink of water. I legitimately need a drink of water.
God, don't do it.
Dude, it was 3 degrees in Denver. I'm dry as fuck right now, okay?
So the Royal Flush Gangs is out of money. Yeah.
So good. So much better.
They did a job with
Paxton Powers. They're stealing really old Colombian art, which somehow Bruce has known all along.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get that exactly.
Of course he does.
I guess he keeps tabs on people for these exact sort of things.
Yeah. I was... So when I saw it was like a cat statue, and then like a woman stepped out of the car, I'm like, Catwoman, Selena.
Yeah, I've seen all these, so I knew that they never really had a Selena moment, but I kind of forgotten the details of it. So the same thing, it's a cat statue, and yeah, they go to hand it off to Paxton, and before he gets out of the car, it's Miss Thorpe, his assistant, gets out first. And I was like, oh shit! I had the same moment, like, wait, is this a Catwoman thing? Did I completely forget about this? I think it was deliberate on their part.
Yeah.
Also, is Miss Thorpe somebody?
No.
I don't think so, right? I don't think. Is that a reference to another character? I don't think so. I think because they. I'm just trying to look it up real fast. Because when they. Well, maybe. Hang on. Oh, that's specifically because of DCAU. Never mind. Just because when we first meet her, she like beats the shit out of King. And it almost made it seem like she had some sort of powers. But I think this is just Paxton's version of Mercy.
Yeah, I was about to say, it just felt like Mercy.
Yeah, just kind of a Mercy thing going on. But yeah, like Paxton refuses to give them money for it, so they decide to ransom him. And of course, Bruce ain't having that shit.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
Where they kidnap Powers, and they're calling the company, like, hey, give us $20 million credits. And Bruce was just very flat of like, yeah, it's company policy. We don't give money for ransom. Sorry, bye.
But the best part of that is Paxton should know that he wrote the policy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Bruce was just stone cold this episode. Bruce
gets the best just moments of being a total baller dick.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of my favorite lines of all time in the whole show is in the next episode too. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
But
I want to know now, Chris.
No. Yes. You have to be patient,
How
Cameron.
dare you keep some semblance of structure in this episode? I want chaos, Chris.
Someone's got to try and keep the sinking
chaos.
ship going. Would that make you the podcast villain?
I mean, evil is in the eye of the beholder, right? 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 Yeah. It's the idea of
villain,
what you believe is wrong.
The villain is always the hero in his own mind.
Exactly. Yeah. I could never be the villain.
No, you're always doing the world a favor.
Yeah. The world just has to understand my point of view.
And adhere to it.
God, so I watched Free Solo. Sorry, another tangent. I watched Free Solo over the weekend.
It's good.
Unbelievable. But the way he described climbing is the same way I feel like an addict describes drugs.
How did he describe it again?
It was basically like, hey, everyone's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna die. I have a bunch of friends that have died doing this. It's not gonna stop me from doing it because I enjoy it.
Although I'll probably die.
Yeah, even though I'm gonna die doing this.
Yeah.
And if everyone's gonna die at some point, why not die doing what you want to do? Do it on your own terms.
Fair enough.
I'm like, you just described, heroin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
His
girlfriend's concerned about him the whole time.
I know.
She understands why he's doing it, but doesn't want him to continue doing it, especially if they're going to bring a family in. This movie is a metaphor for the drug problem in America.
It is an interesting movie. I quite liked it.
I loved it.
I went and saw an IMAX too, which was really gorgeous.
Okay. Oh, I saw it in the Grove IMAX theater.
Okay, yeah.
The screen.
Right. I'm glad you saw it in a theater too.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is really good. I think he's an interesting character because he's like kind of somewhere on the spectrum, but he is very self-aware. It's like he's aware of the fact that he's emotionally distant, and there are times when he cares about that and tries to change, and times when he doesn't.
Yeah,
I thought that's interesting.
Well, I mean, they even go into it a little bit because
Yeah.
the mom, the brief interview with the mom, where she's like, "Yeah, we called him names very well through his formative years."
Yeah.
What surprised me about the show or the movie was how heavy they leaned into his relationship.
Well, I think they had to because they had to give us a reason to care about him because he himself is not a super likable character. I mean, he's a person, but in the context of the film, he's a character.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we also know how it ends.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, so you're not really... there's not the suspense of whether he makes it or not because you know that he does. So they had to like kind of manufacture that suspense and also find an avenue by which to get us invested in him. And so I like that movie, but I'm still a bit bitter that RPG didn't win, and not just because yes, my company made it, but because
This podcast is sponsored by your
Participant
company.
Media. Yes,
Participant Media.
but what I liked about that movie in particular was that as you watch it, you fall in love with her. And a huge part of that is all the people around her and why they love her so much.
Yes.
And I think that was why I preferred that film. As I watched it, I'm like, oh, like I've always obviously admired and respected her, but I came out there going like, oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I adore her. She's like one of the most important people on the planet. Absolutely love her. And I think for me, that's really incredible storytelling. I think Free Solo was more technically impressive. And I get why the Academy did it too. Like, that is more of a newer style of film. And so if they're trying to be a little bit more diverse in who they hand out awards to.
We're cool.
We're hip,
We know
we're
what
cool.
the user
We're
watching
with it.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more off air, but I just wanted to
No,
tell
let's
you
keep
that
talking about it now.
Oh, I would love to. So I, one of the aspects of the film that I really enjoyed was when we hear from him. And not really. It's kind of the dual points of his thinking and the cameraman's thinking.
Oh,
the
yeah.
director's thinking, where the director's worried. What's the main guy's name?
Alex.
Alex. The director's worried Alex is going to push himself too far because the cameras are on him. Where Alex has the opposite thinking of he's not gonna go to his extreme because he doesn't want to fall while his friends are watching.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting. Like that was kind of the most emotional part for him.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, I can't, like if I was doing this by myself and I fell, it's whatever. I'm just another number. I'm just another guy.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing it in front of my friends, then it's traumatic for them.
Yeah. It's really good. Go watch it, guys.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's our early bat plug for the episode.
Yes.
Go watch Free Solo.
Even though you already plugged it
I already
2 weeks ago.
a few weeks ago. But it's fine. I think this is how it normally happens, though. It's normally the other way around. Like, you will plug something, and then weeks later, I'll finally catch up to it. Mm-hmm. Which is going to happen later this episode.
Great.
Again.
Yeah, sorry. So we're in this episode.
Well, Bruce refusing to pay the ransom.
Mm-hmm.
And so Paxton tells them that he's got this secret stash of all this Colombian art. And they can go and steal one of the crowns and make money off of it. But then Paxton's like, well, actually, if you kill Bruce Wayne, then I'll be promoted at the company. Like, I'll take his spot at Wayne Powers. And
I'll have all the company assets.
All the company assets. I can do anything
I like
you
that,
want.
because that's something, I mean, I don't think we've seen it before, where they just team up with the villain.
Oh, like the... Yeah,
who you see as the lesser character is like, hey, let's flip the script a little bit. I know this crown is worth a lot of money, but the company's worth a lot more.
I'm trying to think if that ever happened with like one of the B-level villains, like a Daggett or a Cromwell
or a Thorn
or one of those. Maybe, but I do see your point of taking. It's an interesting evolution for both King and the rest of our Flush Gang and Paxton.
Mm-hmm. And also the dialogue between King and Queen, I really enjoyed, because it's very much a power struggle of Queen wanting him to live up to, the family name, and King, kind of stumbling his way through everything.
I think, was this the first episode that acknowledged that she was part of the Royal Flush Gang family?
This is the first time I'd heard about it.
I think it is. I feel like this is the first time we've established the sort of lineage that she came from, that it was her who inherited the Royal Flush Gang, and that he has adopted the name King through marriage.
Yes.
But yeah, she basically calls him out and being like, you're like a pauper. Like, you're just some like random, you're just like a hood, basically, who married into this family, and you're failing to live up to the prestige of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic, and I feel like they also were kind of deliberately setting her up to be an empathetic character for good reason, as we will come to see. Dun dun dun.
Dum dum dum. Yeah, and so Paxton and the gang team up when Bruce and Terry kind of come to drop off the crown. They turn on him. Terry's knocked out by Ace. I enjoyed the movement of Ace, because it's finally it's like pure robot movement where they're not trying to emulate human problems anymore, where he gets smashed into a wall, and instead of trying to get off of it or out of it, he just bends his arm backwards to grab him.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because he's always been alluded to being a robot, but to your point, they never really fully embraced it.
Yeah. And now it's very, very much so.
Yeah. But yeah, so then
it's
Bruce
versus King and Queen.
Yeah.
And then Ace 2 shows up.
Yes. Ace in the hole.
Ace the pup hound comes and beats up King.
Which I loved. I mean, every time Ace
I just wanted them to say, I wanted him to say his name. I wanted Bruce to be like, oh, my Ace in the hole is here now. Or something like...
He makes a joke about it at the end.
No, Terry makes the joke about it.
I thought Bruce did.
No, because Bruce asked Terry, why did it take you so long to get here? He said they had an ace in the hole.
No, Bruce says it.
No, Terry says it.
I'm looking this up.
It's very much Terry that says it, because then it fades to King back home.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Bruce responds with where were you? It's like, oh, sorry, I got held up. It's like, well, it's fine. I had my own ace in the hole. Oh, no, so. God damn it, you're right.
Hell yeah, I am.
Also, hang on. This is nothing. Well, kind of to do with this. Never mind.
No.
I was going to point out that you were wrong about something you claimed you were right about recently.
When? What? I need to know now.
It was something like you said, I don't remember the context. It was like you said 3. It was supposed to be 2. And I'm like, no, you said 2. We were going back and forth. And one of my friends listened to the podcast and backed me up on it. I can't even remember. I can't even remember while I'm trying to be petty.
Oh, I got called out hard at the Disney bar out here in Hollywood. I'm gonna talk about it.
Wait, you got called out at a Disney bar?
Yeah.
Why?
I felt embarrassed. So it was the piano bar, the Darren Criss bar down in Hollywood.
Tramp stamp grannies.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah, I need to go.
And they were the woman playing piano was taking requests, and someone's like, "Oh, Eye to Eye," and the guy singing with her.
Eye?
God, you scum!
Wait, legit, what's Eye to Eye?
It's the song from Goofy Movie.
Oh, I've seen the movie like once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, it's a more niche song, but what's his face? Ariana Grande's brother was there, being very interesting.
Is it Frank?
Yeah, Frank Grande. I didn't recognize him. I mean, I didn't know who he was. I'll rephrase that.
Yes.
But he's like, no, we're not doing that. I don't know that song. And so she took the mic from him. She's like, okay, well, I'll sing it then. So that was great.
Yeah.
But then she made a comment of like, oh, the song is older than you. And he's like, I was born this year. And I'm like, oh, that movie came out in 96. And without missing a beat, she goes, it was 95. Try again. And I'm like, oh, that hurts so much.
Was she right?
Oh, yeah, she was.
Oh. What's her name?
I don't remember. Like Lauren, I think.
Whoever you are, I send you my love.
I put a $5 in the tip jar and just left.
I mean, the only noble exit at that point.
Yeah. She didn't even look up at me. Just started
like
playing the song. Didn't even recognize. Because I mean, I do the same thing. I did that in a meeting this week, and I regretted it immediately. But someone was talking about like Mickey stuff, and like, oh yeah, they just celebrated his 80th anniversary. I was like 90. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Nothing.
What? See, at least she owned her shade.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she was also in the power position. I was not.
Yeah. Did you like grab someone else's glasses just so you could push them up the bridge of your nose, going,
actually. The VHS release date was actually January 1996, so technically we're both right. That's not true.
No, you are technically wrong.
I am
the
100%
worst
wrong.
kind of wrong.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So Terry makes the comment about having his own.
Yeah, because they
don't
say Ace's name at all, and that really made me upset.
Okay, well he says it, but yeah, then King leaves. So at this point, Jack was already arrested at the beginning of the episode. 10 is gone. Ace is disabled basically in the fight, and then King leaves Queen behind to get arrested. So now it's just him. Like the whole rest of the gang is gone. He goes back to the hideout.
He takes the crown.
He takes the crown. He goes back to the hideout. And then we discover, plot twist, that he is having an affair with Miss Thorpe.
Yes.
Ms.
Thorpe.
Ms. Thorpe.
I kind of wish the episode ended there.
And just like, he just gets away with it?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it would have been... I mean, Catwoman did it all the time. She got away with everything.
But like...
Why can't a man get away with anything these days, Chris? I'm not. Nope. Nope. Cut that out. Cut that line out.
Nope. Well, I'm gonna leave it in there. Got to make sure we establish that you are the new villain of the podcast, Cameron.
Yep. That's pretty true.
No, like the thing is with Catwoman, we always kind of wanted her to get away with it.
Yes, that's
like
true.
I like King as a character mostly because he's played by George Lazenby.
Mm-hmm. Who's that?
What?
Who?
George Lazenby.
Who's that?
The best Bond. Says no one ever. I have a soft spot for him. I would put him. Let me think about this. I would.
It's only like 6, right?
Is it 4th or 5th? I mean, obviously Connery, Craig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that great guy, Connery Craig.
Connery Craig, number 1. Number 2, Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
So actually number 3. I think for me, number 3 is Pierce Brosnan. I love Pierce Brosnan. He's saddled with bad films, but he's my Bond growing up.
Gotcha.
And then this is where it gets tough because I love Roger Moore just like as a persona, but I don't necessarily love his movies. He's doing a very different kind of Bond movie. So that's tough for me because he had more movies and is kind of like more endearing. But I think Lazenby is actually great in Our Majesty's Secret Service. I think it helps that he's encouraged by a really good film. Is this the look I have in my face?
Every time. That's honestly why I asked this question, so you can see what you look like.
This is you.
Yeah.
What you look like.
I just asked this so I could look at my phone for a couple minutes because I have to check some stuff. Keep going, please.
So I would say, okay, I'm going to say Sean Connery, Sean Connery, Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore.
Ooh.
Roger Moore, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton.
Hurt you to say.
Look, I love Timothy Dalton. I'm sorry, Tim. Mm-hmm. Also, you are one of 2 Bond actors I've seen in real life. So I should have you. Oh my God, the 2 Bond actors I've seen in real life are like the lowest on the list.
Wow.
What does this mean? What does this mean, Cameron?
Also, the thing you're looking for was the thing they just posted on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
But so I love King because he's played by George Lazenby, my 5th favorite James Bond.
Wow, that's some praise.
But he's not someone we want to get away with it. And like I said, they've tried to establish Queen as being a little more on the sympathetic side. That like she has this legacy that's being tarnished by. King.
I felt I saw her more as the antagonist to him. I felt more sympathy for King.
Why?
Because she was putting this title on him, this bar to hit.
Yeah.
When he's just trying to keep it afloat.
But I guess is he really trying that hard to keep it afloat?
I mean, he's doing everything he can, from what I can tell.
This is actually
in the 22-minute contained story. But I have seen him do everything he can. He messes up every one of those steps.
Well, that's exactly it.
He tries.
That's exactly it. It's like I actually thought this was kind of a dumb moment, but because it supports my argument, I'm going to say it was a great moment.
Okay.
Which is when
I will heartily disagree when you get to it.
When they are first breaking into the museum to steal the Jaguar statue. Mm-hmm. Jack is trying to deactivate the alarm, and because he's not doing it fast enough, it's saying like, "Oh, this used to be Ten's job," which it was. Mm-hmm. We saw her do it. King gets mad.
Check that off.
Got that continuity. King gets mad and slaps him. And I was like, it's a lazy way to convey that he is the cause of all the problems, but he is the cause of the problem. Like he is the one who's being super sloppy about the whole thing.
He's just stressed out, Chris. He's got a lot on his plate dealing with his family. His daughter left him. And he can't get her back.
When will men catch a break, Cameron?
When will men learn? I really hope one of these days.
Continue.
No.
You can do it.
Nope, I can't. It hurts too much.
But yeah, he's a dirty, philandering scoundrel, and he gets caught because I guess Batman must have let Queen get away, right? Mm-hmm. Like deliberately, I think, to track down.
Well,
King.
I mean, her card blew up, right? Her transportation.
So Batman did this like real slick move where she like goes to punch him and he throws the handcuffs on her.
No, I know that part.
Yeah, but then
I'm saying after I'm trying to fill in the scene.
Oh, how
where
she gets
away.
back there?
Because I imagine she just starts running and Batman goes, No way! Stop!
Yeah, because she like pulls out the card and like cuts through the chains. But did she have a playing card left? I don't think so. She probably caught a lift.
Yeah, that future lift.
Yeah, it's fine. She had a discount code. It was worth it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
because 20. Where does this take place in 2049, 2047? 2039. 2039. I was close. I mean, inflation rate at that point is through the roof.
Also, is it 2029 or 2039? It's 2039.
Is it?
I think so.
I'll go with you.
I don't know. I can't think of the sound of the helicopter, the bird chirping, and the dog barking.
Hey.
Also, the truth is, guys, we're in a soundstage. We just have an amazing Foley artist that hangs out in the background.
I'm working my ass off over here, Chris, to give the illusion of an apartment recording session.
We just want to give that sort of sense of verisimilitude as much as possible.
Yeah.
So we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're going so long.
What do you mean? We're 45 minutes in. We're almost done with the first episode.
This is what happens when I record tired. But yeah, he let her go. And then she's rightfully pissed.
King has a great line, though, when Batman shows up, which is, do you have any idea of what it's like to live in someone's shadow?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's my whole story.
Well, so
we're on season 3 of this shit, King.
Yeah, so I think I might have even mentioned this a few weeks ago. I had a conversation on Twitter with this guy Andrew Schweitzer, who he's all the DCAU stuff. He follows all of them, and I think it was the DCAU review episode. They were talking about the Royal Flush Gang, and he mentioned this line, how it was one of his favorite lines. And I asked him, like, oh, like, are you referencing the fact that it's about Batman always having to live in Bruce's shadow, Terry and Bruce's shadow, or are you saying that's a meta line because it's about how George Lazenby has spent his entire life living in the shadow of Sean Connery?
Yes.
And so we had a lovely conversation about James Bond.
Good. I'm glad someone will fill that void for you.
I mean, you are always trying to turn this into an anime podcast. I'm always trying to turn this into a James Bond podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe someday there'll be a James Bond anime, and together we will finally be happy.
I'm going to Google that real quick. I bet it has come out at some point.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. But no, I did love that line there. And like, I wasn't super taken with this episode,
Okay.
but I did like that it at least was trying to evolve the villains. So my question for you is, do you think that this...
You, the listener, or you, me?
You, Cameron.
Okay.
The royal you, you, Cameron, do you think that...
I don't know, maybe you like to have a conversation with the audience every now and then.
I do.
Yeah.
But I do that behind your back. I go and let you leave, and then I record my own part where I just tell them how much...
I don't listen to it.
How much I hate you. That's exactly it. You'll never know, Cameron.
I'll never know.
I actually cut all of you out entirely.
Understandable.
It's just me talking into a void.
Yeah, it's probably a better podcast.
But so I'm curious if you, Cameron...
Yes, thank you.
...think that this is on par with the way BTOS and the new Batman adventures evolved as villains and took their arcs in different directions. So I feel like that's what it was drawing on. It was trying to do that. I was curious if you thought it was as successful.
I wouldn't put it up with like the best of those episodes, but yeah, I see the connection.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like where I would place it.
I mean, because you look back on it, like they did an amazing job with Harley, obviously, by eventually having her question her relationship with the Joker and go off on her own, try to go straight, team up with her or with Ivy. They was always involving her.
I think the problem is, since it's a group, I would want, if they were going to do that, I think I would want this to be a 2-parter where we can actually spend time with every member of the gang.
Yeah, or at least
and see how they all change.
Yeah. Because I guess, I mean, in previous episodes, the real kind of hook was on 10. Mm-hmm. Her relationship with Terry, whether she was going to go straight or not. The fact that she already has, by necessity, she had kind of minimal screen time because she had basically already established what she was going to do.
Yes.
That she was gone.
But then in that sense, I would have loved an episode where it's just how does the family deal with losing one of their own. Mm-hmm. You could have a story where Queen wants to fill her role because that's what the family does.
Yeah.
You have to have a 10.
Yeah.
Jack is... I don't know how Jack could handle it. I would want King to be the one who's just kind of like trying to push it all down.
Yeah.
Of like, I have to be the leader. I have to be the one who can't be affected by this.
Like, we're fine without her.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be interesting if he's like, we're fine without her. And for Queen, who obviously is more emotionally connected to Melanie, like she gets after King for like, you cons tend to leave us. Mm-hmm. Be interesting to your point though, if even though she has a greater affinity for that as her daughter, that the
family name is more important.
Yeah, that her need to maintain that legacy and that prestige sort of goes against her better conscience. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. And then Jack and Ace are off doing something else.
Yep.
Ace lost an arm and Jack has to go and find it.
Jack's just off jacking it.
Yeah. Jacking it in San Diego? Yeah, San Diego.
What?
Yeah. You know that song?
No, there's a song called Jackin' It in San Diego?
There's a song called Jackin' It in San Diego.
Is it about carjacking?
Nope. It's about masturbating.
Great.
It's a South Park song.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Does it?
Yeah, of course. That's a very South Park thing to do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I liked this, but I think you're right. It might have been more interesting if they had a bit more time to spend with it. Mm-hmm. But I liked that at least they kind of evolved that, and then they did basically wrap the whole thing up. And they wrapped up Melanie because she goes and gets Jack, and she's gonna give him a job at her restaurant washing dishes. They wrap up that element. You know, she asked Batman like, "Oh, hey, did you ever pass a message along to Terry?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, okay,
cool. He doesn't want me."
yeah." It's like they resolved that arc. They resolved like King, the Royal Flush Gang. Like they did a nice job, and Paxton too, because he's
arrested,
caught, for attempted murder. So they do a nice job kind of like wrapping up a lot of those threads, which is nice.
So we can get our new villain.
So we can get our new... Oh, boy.
The most overpowered villain we've ever seen.
So, yeah, because... So, yeah, we're talking about Untouchable, where I was trying to exactly...
This is the worst villain name, too. The Repeller.
Is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Did they ever call him that by name, or is that just how he's credited in the episode?
They call him it once in the... Someone calls him it once in the episode, and then when I read the description, they referred to him as the Repeller.
Oh, God. Well, he repels down the sides of buildings.
That's what I wanted.
Did you know that?
Because I wanted a Slipknot joke.
He can climb anything?
Yes.
He's got enough rope.
Slightly faster than everybody else.
Right. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly how this works. So he is wearing it's called an ISO ring.
Yes.
So it projects it generates an electric state like fields around the person, so that they have there's no molecular interchange between outside of the field and inside the field, right?
Correct.
So it allows you to be isolated,
except for sound.
Well, this is a weird thing. So you can't feel, or taste,
right,
or smell,
correct,
through this. So there's no molecular interchange, but sound operates on the vibration.
It's a wave, man.
Just ride that wave.
Gotta catch that wave, man.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me, that you could still hear through it. And they emphasize it because it ultimately becomes the thing, I guess, that's used as the vulnerability point for the suit.
I didn't get it. I don't get it, Chris.
It didn't really make sense. Like, so whoever's in this suit, it's kind of a cool design. It kind of reminds me of is it Dead Space, the video game? Where the guy has the mask, it's like identical to this. Like, if it's not a ripoff, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I believe it's Dead Space.
Because let me just see. Oh yeah, like look it up. Like he's got like it's a flat mask with like, I guess our guy, the Repeller, only has 2 lines, like 3 lines across, like a flat plane. It's like right there though.
Yeah, I see it for sure.
Yeah, but so. He is
Wasn't that a language? Wasn't that like a... I'm not gonna get into it.
Dead Space?
No. Where it's like you have like 3 lines, and where you break up each line is a reference to a different letter. I feel like that's some like cryptic language that someone created at some point.
Are you thinking of Morse code?
No, I know what Morse code is. No, it's no, because they're in stacks of 3, kind of like the helmet.
Okay.
But depending on where you would break the line, either the top line, middle line, or bottom line, left, center, or right, it was a reference to a letter.
This sounds kind of familiar, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
Well, I'll talk about James Bond for a while, and you can look it up. But so the Repeller, he's stealing.
I'd like to know the continuity of James Bond, please.
Wait, sorry, did you ask me about why Never Say Never Again was remade in the 80s? Hang on, let me tell you.
I don't quite understand.
It all started with Kevin McClory, who teamed with Ian Fleming to write a scriptment for a potential James Bond movie. I'm not going to get into this.
Go on.
I totally would love to get into this at some point.
We'll give you your own episode. Just like you let me talk about Roger Rabbit. You can have a James Bond episode at some point.
I can.
You can. You've been such a good boy today.
Well, I mean, the thing is that over the course of this podcast, which one presumes will continue to run for at least another couple of years, we will have a new Bond film.
Yeah, that's true.
So you damn well know we're doing an episode, maybe 2 on that. Like
a 4-hour sitting.
Clearly Shane is going to be there, and if I can make it happen, we're going to do a crossover with James Bonding. Mind you, that will never happen, but one can dream.
We can try.
Yes. I dream a dream, Cameron.
We have very loose connections.
That's true. I don't know if I want to exploit that connection. No, I don't think so. Okay, but so the repeller is stealing these isotopes.
Yes.
Which I guess he can then... Someone can use the combined together to make some sort of explosive. And he has clients that he's selling it to who never make a reappearance at the end of the episode, which I thought was kind of weird.
Why would they?
Like, you'd think they would try and like wrap up that element of it. Wait, does he ever even try to steal the third element? I don't think so.
Yes, because that's when he fights Batman for the second time. Is they're at the building. And he's like, I expected to see you here, Batman. And then I don't remember what happens after that. I kind of.
Oh yeah. I guess he had already stolen, like, was it like the Alpha Ceruleum?
Yeah, Alpha, Beta, and he was going for Gamma.
That's right. The beginning, he's stealing the Beta Ceruleum. That's right. Mm-hmm. So he's stealing these things to give up, just like to hand up to some client. But Bruce realizes that this is this ISO ring.
This is the Red X episode of Teen Titans. Do you remember the first time we meet Red X?
Vaguely.
It's the same episode. It's literally the same plot.
Like he's stealing different components.
Yeah, he's stealing 3 computer chips for Slade.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. I do remember this now.
But they did it better than Teen Titans.
They did better in Teen Titans?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Red X episode.
Red X is so cool.
Red X episodes are great. Like this is not particularly good villain. Because so he's stealing these things.
Are you saying there's something wrong with the repeller?
Yes, he's repellent. So he's stealing these things. Bruce realizes that it's probably this ISO belt technology that Wayne Tech is developing. Mm-hmm. So we go to this lab where we meet Irene, who is a woman with realizes, come on, Eileen, right?
Nope.
It's actually never mind. I was gonna say there's a really fantastic crass joke about come on, Eileen, but we're not gonna go there.
No.
So we meet Irene, who has some sort of unspecified disease. She has a bubble boy disease, basically, that she can't be exposed to the outside.
Well, there's also other people in that room.
Yeah.
Because when we first walk in, we see a kid sitting in his cube playing with blocks.
Yeah. They all have some sort of disease, means they can't be exposed to the outside atmosphere, so they're inside these containment chambers.
Yes.
They also have these like big-ass bubble suits that allow them to kind of go out and about, but the great thing about this ISO belt is that barrier allows them to go out into the world. And Terry meets Irene. He's like, oh my God, what? You've never like gone outside?
What?
You should do that. And so...
Are you saying you're attractive like a female my age, but you're naive like a child?
Oh my God, it's like you were born sexy yesterday.
Wow, I have so much to teach you, me, an ordinary man.
Now, what I do like, though, is that this episode has a surprising amount of self-awareness about this for having been made in 2001.
Mm-hmm. Dana's on her shit.
She's on her shit because Terry and like I was even wondering like, are they gonna acknowledge Dana's existence in this, or is there another instance where like Terry just like falls in love with someone that's not Dana? But yeah, they're at Cheesy Dan's, like the Chuck E. Cheese, presumably with Matt.
I like to think that they weren't.
They just went there on their own date. That's just like where they decided to go.
That's the mall for them.
Yeah, let's go
a kid's
to
playhouse.
the mall today. So they go there, and he's going on and on about how special Irene is, and Dana like calls him out, and he's like, Terry even says like, oh no, like I couldn't even touch her if I wanted to, and she's like, yeah, that's the problem. All you men want is something you can't have, and you're willing to like ignore or dismiss the thing you have to get it. Mm-hmm. And I was
damn girl.
Damn, I was like right on, like power moment from Dana there, calling out Terry on his bullshit. But it's not even just that she calls him out on it. Like the whole episode kind of calls him out on it because they basically do what you just described. Like she decides to break out. Mm-hmm. He goes with her, takes her like to the beach as she goes into the water for the first time,
which is the rom-com thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, you've never seen the beach? Also, like this was the East Coast. Those beaches are not that nice.
Well, she's never seen. She doesn't have any comparison.
Well, I guess that's true.
You start a very low bar. So you can just keep. You don't have to go straight to. You don't have to go straight to Hawaii.
That's true. She's gone from like a prison cell sink basin to the ocean. It's a step up, even if it's New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, but he takes her out there to go.
New Jersey.
Oh, that's true. Neo Jersey.
Neo Gotham.
So he takes her out there, and then, but she gets in trouble with it's a doctor.
I didn't write any of their names down.
Dr. Katz, that's not his name. But
we're going to go with.
We're going to go with it. gets in trouble with Dr. Katz. Now, when we met him, was your thought also?
Can we do Dr. Katz and Dr. Eisner?
Oh, right. Well, actually, Dr. Katz was a cartoon.
Oh, that Dr. Katz.
Yeah. I actually met the real Dr. Katz. So the cartoon Dr. Katz is modeled or is based on this guy, this real person named Dr. Katz, who I think he's actually a trained psychiatrist, but he's like a psychiatrist to comedians. So they built a show around him, like an anime show around him. And I PA'd on a like spec documentary, if you will, about him. So we went up to what's the big comedy festival that happens in San Francisco every year?
Oh my God, I don't remember. It's the one that
Janet Varney co-founded.
Yeah, and what's his face is always there. Jack Black is always there.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but we went up to that, and basically I was PAing as a documentary film crew was filming a 20th anniversary episode, like a 20th anniversary live stage like version of it, and so it was Dr. Katz, and then H. John Benjamin played his son on the show. So H. John Benjamin was there.
Of course he did.
And the comedians he was talking to were Ron Funches and Pete Holmes.
Aww.
And Emo Phillips, too. I guess he was a character. He was on the original show. They brought him back for that.
Gotcha.
And so I was just like this fly on the wall hanging out in the green room with all these people.
Amazing,
It was so overwhelmed, but I was really excited because I made a joke and I got Emo Phillips to laugh at it.
Aww.
And I was like, I made a comedian laugh.
Look at you. You have a new career path.
I know. It's good times.
Yeah. Unlike this episode.
What?
What?
What? Oh, we're here doing a thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what were we talking about? I got confused.
I don't remember anymore. The Born Test Yesterday. Dana's on her shit.
Yeah. But like the episode. Oh, the red herring guy.
Yeah.
Did you when we meet him and he's such an asshole? Did you automatically assume that Dr. Katz was
the red herring?
The red herring.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And did you automatically assume that Dr. Kazuki, aka for this context, Dr. Eisner, was?
No, I thought it would be the girl.
But what would her?
I don't know. Maybe they promised to get her out, heal her, cure her.
That's a good point. Why am I asking you for motivation when like Dr. Suzuki like has no motivation either?
Yeah.
Like he none whatsoever. He's like the nice guy. It's like, well, clearly it's got to be him, and the asshole guy.
Because the red herring moment for me was when Bruce is in the lab talking to Dr. Katz, and he's like, "Oh, if you tweaked this one thing, you could weaponize it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "How dare you even
throw
the idea? Rah, 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 rah. Throw the idea at me to weaponize my pure technology of goodness and hope." And then he just storms out of the room. Like, oh yeah, he's definitely not the villain.
No, of course not. No. He skulks out of the room and like a check floats out of his back pocket.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly be him. But yeah, so the red herring thing was just like super obvious for me. And just the powers didn't make sense. So like the static suit, so they solved, because I guess it had a limited power supply, but now they've tweaked it so that it has an unlimited power supply, I guess.
Yeah. And
in doing so, I guess he could just generate a ISO field large enough to be able to fly? I don't understand how that worked.
There's a lot I don't understand about
this. How does he fly? How does he shoot things? Does he like just shoot? Is he basically just firing concentrated, like little mini ISO fields? Like, because I guess they technically have a physical barrier. Like you can't go past it. You physically can't pass it. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you were to like shoot off an element of it, would that be a concussive force? Is that what I was going for?
I guess so. I think we're way overthinking this.
I'm sure we are. It's like, I guess I liked the kind of side story they're telling with Terry and Irene. Mm-hmm. I like that Dana called him out on. I liked at the end too that he thinks that he's so special and that Irene's in love with him, and she's like, "Oh no, like I'm with Larry."
Yeah,
literally his name was Larry.
Larry. Like, I hate Tom. I hate Dick. And I hate Larry.
What is that from?
It's the Dover Boys. Sorry.
Wait, is that the Looney Tunes?
Yeah, old Looney Tunes. The Dover Boys was a.
Oh, we've talked about.
I love the Dover Boys.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, I learned recently it was one of the early adapters of smear animation, which is when they elongate a body part to make the movement feel fast and smooth.
Yeah, isn't that the same? It's like what? It's stretch and
Squash and stretch.
Squash and stretch.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, smear is when it's like, is when they're doing like a U movement, and there's still like kind of the head part of the head just stays in the back while it follows through with the U and then it kind of snaps back in. Where squash and stretch is a little different, where it's when you're moving left to right, it'll, instead of leaving behind, it'll just shrink in the middle and then widen a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then when you have that impact point, you flip it, and so you stretch out the Y and condense the X.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That little like bounce. Bum, 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 bum.
I just assumed smear animation was when you're animating putting cream cheese on a bagel.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, great.
It's a very famous artist, actually, from 1964.
Mr. Schmear?
Mr. Schmear, yes. famous for his Schmear art.
Yeah. But yeah, so like she's off with Larry, so
Goddamn Larry.
I liked the episode called Terry out for thinking he was like such hot shit. And I like Bruce also calls him out at one point because he's like, "Oh, you just like the attention." It's like, "Yes, no,
yeah.
that's not it." I was like, "This is like surprisingly like self-aware and progressive for when it was made." But the other thought I had, the thought that I referenced earlier,
yes, you've had me out the edge of my seat this whole time.
Was, to me, this really epitomizes how Batman Beyond is more like Superman the animated series than Batman the animated series. In that, because your protagonist is so powerful, you have to, and it has a sci-fi tinge to it already. You have to come up with these like really powerful villains to throw up against him, and then you have to manufacture vulnerability for that villain.
But there was no vulnerability in this one.
Well, that's the thing. They had to manufacture it. Like,
yeah.
But that thing should not let sound transfer through. The molecules wouldn't be able to vibrate past the barrier. So it shouldn't work. But they could have just ignored the fact that you can still hear through it, but they had to emphasize it because they had to come up with some way for the whole thing to work.
Yeah. They also already have a villain that had that problem.
Oh, yeah, with Shriek.
Yeah, we already have this villain.
Yeah, so at the end, when Terry and Dr.
Eisner.
Dr. Eisner, thank you, end up in that turbine and turned it on, I thought it was going to be like so powerful that it even that was able to suck him into it. But no, it was just super, super loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, dumb. It was just kind of dumb. And like, why, if it's so loud, like, what was the purpose of turning off the ISO field? Like, he's like, "Oh my God, this hurts so bad. Hang on, let me pull my hands away from my ears long enough to turn off my belt." Back they go. Still hurts.
This is better.
It felt like they were having to manufacture all this stuff. It didn't feel organic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if just with BTOS, New Batman Adventures, the stakes always seemed higher because the threat was always more serious, or like you would kind of believe when Batman would get injured more so than this, where like at one point in this episode he gets pushed off of a cliff and like, well, he can fly.
Yeah.
His suit can fly. He's got glider wings and he's got built-in grapple guns.
Yeah, and his suit absorbs damage.
Yeah, so it all felt a little flat.
Yeah, it's Batman with kitty wings
to me.
The point for me in the episode where I'm like, why are we doing this? Is the third time they meet up to fight, and he's like, "Batman, nothing you can do can get past my ISO field." He's like, "Well, you haven't seen this new Batarang," and he throws it wraps him up in titanium. He's like, "This is the strongest material in the world," and then he just breaks out of it again.
Just breaks through it anyways again. It's like,
why? Like, what was the point of dedicating 2 minutes to this?
I guess
when nothing changed, no status of either character shifted an inch.
I think the idea was that they had to make it seem like he came to the fight prepared in some capacity. And I mean, I guess that's pretty cool even of Batman animated series. Like, Batman would show up with the antidote to the animal transformation thing, and the vial would get smashed, and you had to come up with something else different.
I think just because it's just another Batarang, I think that's why I'm like, what was the point of this? Like if he had some kind of, detonator or thing to turn the suit off and then that breaks, I think I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, but it just felt a little bit half-assed. The whole thing, the whole thing just
This whole episode felt a little
bit half-assed. But it did have a reference to Bloodhaven, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it did have that amazing line that I mentioned earlier as well, which is when Terry is talking about Irene and Bruce calls him out on like wanting the attention. He's like, wait, no, it's like you wouldn't understand. It's like, oh, actually I do. Women used to throw themselves at me. Well, what did you do? I stepped over them. I was just like, cold.
Oh yeah, because he said they throw themselves at my feet.
Those are my feet. Yeah, I was like, so fucking cold.
Yeah. Oh man.
But such a Bruce line.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
Like, I've seen shit, kid.
It was so fantastic. Oh god. I don't know. It's at least it had its moments. But I mean, I think off to a pretty solid start.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I saw the ending. Actually, no. No, we talked about it in a different light. Never mind.
Okay.
It was a fine episode.
I didn't have time to like do a proper notes from friends search because like I got off late from work. It doesn't matter. You guys don't need to know the details of my overly involved life.
Yes.
But we're gonna jump straight to bat plugs here. I'm gonna start us off because I know you have so much to say about your bat plug. I'm gonna
speed through it as fast as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
This will be a long episode. Who cares? Mm-hmm. People didn't get us last week. They're getting more than they want this week.
That's right.
It balances out. Because I think we've already technically listed these as plugs. But while I was traveling this weekend, I downloaded some stuff off of Netflix.
Okay.
So I watched the Netflix Fire documentary.
It's great.
It is great.
Do you get the did you ever see the memes where it's
the blowjob memes?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so good.
They are really good. Our friend CJ had sent me one too. Okay, because there was a headline about how like the blowjob meme guy blows it or something like that. Yeah. It was so good. I feel bad for that guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because not only in the context of what he had to do to help put on this festival and the guilt he felt about doing it, but in trying to just paint a picture of how absurd this is, he talks about that story about him being told he had to go blow a customs agent to get all the water brought in for the show. And he's like, all right, so I guess I'll do this. So I went and took a shower and like drank some mouthwash, which like the story he's telling is so absurd and his reaction to it and like his steps were so absurd. Mm-hmm. But now he's become like a butt of the joke. And I feel so bad for that guy.
Yeah.
Because he had to do so much shit and compromise so much of his own integrity just to try and basically help a friend put this festival on.
The way I imagined it was he's the uncle who told, parents were out of town. He told his nephew, like, hey, if you want to throw a party, I won't tell.
Yeah.
And so the kid threw the craziest party. And now the uncle is just like, fuck, I have to clean all of this up before the parents get home.
Yeah, exactly. He was just trying to do the right thing. It was like putting these like really morally compromising situations, but now he'll always remember it as like the blowjob fire festival guy.
Yeah.
So I feel really bad for him, but like it does paint a very damning picture of that guy. What's his name? The
guy that ran it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you watch the Hulu one,
something McFarlane.
Yes. Not Seth. Not.
I'll
Todd.
look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Hulu one, he's actually on set. So they're interviewing him while
Billy McFarlane.
Billy. They're interviewing Billy while they're showing the documentary.
Yeah.
And so I like that one a little better because that one focuses where the Netflix one is about just the whole chaos of the festival.
Yeah.
The Hulu one is about just like how bad of a person Billy is.
Okay.
Because it starts at his first venture with the weird credit card.
Well, I mean, the Netflix one did that too.
It spends more time on it.
Okay, more time on it. Yeah. Because it already paints a pretty damning portrait of this guy who's just like a psychopathic, sociopathic con artist. And just like all the people he screwed over. Mm-hmm. I feel so bad for the woman, the chef on the island, who apparently is like this incredible cook. I have heard, I haven't looked this up to confirm it, but I've heard that there was a Kickstarter to raise money for all the people who didn't get paid.
Oh yeah,
as a result of the festival. Which I hope that's true. I'll have to double check that because it's really sad that these people were on this island and working for months and never got paid. And this poor woman talks about how she basically spent $50,000 out of her own pocket to pay for the staff who helped her cook.
Well, then there was the construction guy who had to leave the country.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I was afraid for my life. And so I just left.
Yeah. It's just insane, the reality of it. And because when it all happened, I was like, those fucking idiots, the people who went. Because I am not the kind of person who goes to Coachella. Not my jam at all. You'll never see me there. You'll never see me at EDC. I went to Outside Lands once. It was fine.
I'm glad you know EDC. Not many people know Electric Daisy.
What? Everybody knows EDC.
I don't think not where I'm from.
Because you're from the middle of the fucking country.
Yeah.
Everyone knows EDC. Like, it's like, I would say that if you're talking about,
the best promo
if you're just throwing out cliche music festivals, as I was just doing, the two you go to are Coachella and EDC.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, anywho, like, I'm not the person who
Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo, of course.
That one out.
I'm not the kind of person who goes, Stagecoach.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah. Country version.
Yeah, I'm not the person who goes these sort of things. I was just like, these stupid idiots who went and decided to go do this thing. Like, this is just a comeuppance. You do feel bad for some of the people that go, not for all of them.
Right.
But it's really fucked up. It's great. So I watched that, and I watched the first 3 episodes of Umbrella Academy.
Oh, welcome to the Academy.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm really loving it.
It's great.
It also, I think I was destined to love it, or I was always going to love it, though, because it does what we've established is my favorite thing in film or television. Pairing great music with a good scene.
Yeah.
Like,
the dance scene?
The dance scene.
Oh, you'll get
in the first episode.
Yeah,
when he puts on the record and they all just like start dancing in their rooms, and it goes that wide shot, like the cutaway of the building.
I don't know if you did the same thing, but I paused it at that moment. I'm like, okay, they're missing a few rooms here.
Are they? I didn't pause it.
Because there wasn't there was no place for the dad. There was no master bedroom.
Oh, okay.
There were no bathrooms. There was
they're further into the building.
Yeah, I know.
But that's great. They used Sinner Man, which I didn't love because for me, the ultimate use of the song Sinner Man was in the Thomas Crown Affair. And it's now become kind of like cliche a little bit. Although it was well used in Sherlock and also the trailer for the movie The Front Runner.
Okay. Oh, I meant to see that movie. I heard it was good.
Yeah. I feel like there was another moment in the end of the first episode, I want to say, where they did a really great... Oh, it was... oh, no. I know what it was now. I think it's episode 2, maybe. But it's the diner shootout, all done to Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Yes, that was a great one.
And someone had referenced that, because I referenced that song over the weekend, and someone said, oh, you're going to love this moment. Maybe you had referenced it.
It was not me.
Okay.
I don't know that. I did not know that was the name of the song.
You've never heard that song?
I'd heard it, but I didn't know the name of it.
Oh, my God. That's one of my... Have you ever seen the Tiny Toons sketch they did to that? Mm-mm. Where it's basically Tiny Toons did a music video to that song, and it's... what's the duck's name in Tiny Toon Adventures?
I don't. I'm blanking on everything. Tiny Toons right now.
But he's like a
I was more of a Baby Looney Tunes guy.
Oh, fuck off. He is like a detective in Istanbul, and he's supposed to like track down this like Maximilian. It doesn't matter. Okay. It's great. But I've always loved that song. Who We Are Giants, right? Isn't that who sings it?
You're past my knowledge point.
Okay. Anyways, Umbrella Academy is amazing. I think you've already plugged it, but whatever, plug it again. But I now leave the floor to you, Cameron, to discuss what you've been wanting to discuss for weeks, and we couldn't last time.
Yes. I'm going to throw one super quick plug in for you.
Oh, okay, go right ahead then.
Because you will really like it, because I think we've talked about the series before. CNN's Decade series.
Oh,
They just put out the 2000s episodes. They're great. I watched the ones that I care about. So TV, movie, and music.
I saw a bit of that, actually, the TV one. Because they talk about the real world and like queer representation in TV, right? Or did I watch the 90s one?
That was the 90s one.
But did they talk about Sex in the City too? Maybe I did watch the 90s.
They talk about Sex in the City. Yeah, because the main part of the 2001 is HBO.
Okay, I think I did see this.
Yeah, and the rise of power of scripted television.
Oh, okay, I think I did see a bit of this, yeah. Also, it's They May Be Giants.
Okay.
So, in case you were wondering.
Okay, so more importantly, Alita. I have literally like 3 pages of notes on this. I'm just going to try and find the highlights.
Don't feel the need to rush.
But It's an amazing fucking movie, everybody. It's made for anime fans and only for anime fans. It's everything we've wanted. It's everything that I wanted fucking Dragon Ball Evolution to be. It's what I wanted Ghost in the Shell. I mean, this is the same plot of Ghost in the Shell, but done so much better. I assume you didn't see Ghost in the Shell.
No.
Good for you.
Yeah, I did not.
It's bad. The action scenes are unbelievable. Yeah, like I said, it's the kind of anime, it's the kind of movie anime fans have been asking for. We have like just like the most pure essence of anime protagonist. And they even have the innocence of the anime protagonist, which is what every character has. And everyone needs to see this now.
So it makes enough money to get a sequel?
Yes. Because what I wrote is this needs to do well for the sake of the future of anime in Hollywood. Like, we've had so many bombs. It's amazing they're even still trying to make these movies.
That is true.
Because even the best one, which everyone forgets is based off a manga, is the Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
Oh,
Tomorrow Never.
The Edge of Tomorrow, aka Live.
Like Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Live Die Repeat.
Live Die Repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's based off a manga.
That's right. It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also still did not do well in the box office.
It did well enough. The sequel was officially greenlit.
Oh, thank God.
So Doug Liman will be back to direct. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt will be back. I don't know if Christopher McQuarrie is coming back to write. I don't know if that mentioned it specifically, but he will definitely be there because it's a Tom Cruise movie, and they are inseparable at this point. Mm-hmm. I imagine that he would probably have a limited capacity given that he's prepping 2 Mission Impossible movies back to back.
Right.
But he'll probably be there in some sort of producerial capacity. Mm-hmm. But you're right. That's a great movie, too.
Yeah.
That's such a good movie. I love it.
So Alita, I think, is a great character. It's some of the best CGI because it's James Cameron. Obviously, it's some of the best CGI I've ever seen in a film. Did you feel the eyes were too much?
No.
Good.
I thought...
Okay. It's like you can
continue.
No, you can talk.
No, I thought the eyes were going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. They were a little weird in the trailer, but I have to say...
What's the phrase where robots
Uncanny Valley?
Thank you, yeah.
Yes. I thought it was a little Uncanny Valley, but I have to say, in the movie, it did work. Mm-hmm. I think part of it is that Rosa Salazar is fantastic.
Yes.
In this, I think she is really, really, really charming. Does give a great performance. Like, even though it's a CG character, you do emotionally connect with her.
Yes.
And I mean, I think...
Because that's what good anime does.
Well, I don't know if that has to do with being an anime or not. I think that character was well written and the effects were excellent. Because I was going to say, like, Thanos is another example of an all-CG character that you actually connected with. You see the human in the performance.
Mm-hmm. You see the Brolin in there.
You see so much Brolin. They say me Brolin.
Yes. So me, like most anime fans, we were a little worried when we got the PG-13 rating.
I love you're saying we.
Yes.
Speaking on behalf of the entire...
Yes, Chris.
Weeaboo community.
Thank you for using my word. Weeb life is life. We were worried until she fucking drop kicked a woman's head into a wall, and you just saw the body fall. Remember that part? It's the first big action moment when he pulls out the hammer, and you find out the woman is not a damsel in distress, but actually an assassin out to kill the dad.
Oh, that's right.
And then Alita comes and kicks her in the face.
That's right.
All the cyborgs feel very unique, which is weird.
Look, I agree with you. It has the design is amazing. Mm-hmm. The world building is great.
Yes.
Like that.
The fight sequences are unparalleled.
No, the fight sequences are gorgeous.
Yes.
They are each distinct. They're fluid. You can follow along. They're cohesive. Anytime a fight sequence was happening, I loved that film. And as soon as they ended, it was the most boring movie I have seen in a long time.
I loved it so much.
I was falling asleep between the fight sequences. Also, the love story is shit.
Yes. So I will admit, I felt like that was the most rushed and probably the most on the cutting room floor.
So should we just? I think it's worth getting the spoilers on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that whole love story, and again, I've never read the manga.
Neither have I.
Never seen the anime.
Neither have I.
And you call yourself an anime fan?
Hey, I'm a surface fan.
You're a shallow weeaboo.
Yes. I can't take that plunge, man. I'm not coming back once I do.
You're a meh-aboo.
Don't.
I have been trying to get you to do that reaction. I've been forcing puns all episode. I finally got it.
Don't you fucking
finally got it. Did you see?
Yes, I saw it. Yes, I fucking saw it.
I think I posted on Instagram.
God, I hate you so much. That's Timm Talk, everybody. Thanks for listening.
So, I've never seen these things, so I can't speak to what that love story was like in either of those other iterations. Mm-hmm. But here, that whole love story is so terrible. Now, I was starting to listen to the Empire spoiler special on Alita, and they were talking with John Landau, one of the producers on it, Cameron's longtime producer. And he was saying the idea with Diego? What's his name?
When I was Googling it, I found out it was not what I thought it was.
What's his name?
It's not Hugo.
Oh,
it's Yugo.
It's Yugo?
It's Yugo. Yugo.
That's so dumb.
Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, okay. No, or Diego's Umbrella Academy, right? Okay. Also, I was thinking of Diego from Dora the Explorer.
Oh, yeah. Go, Diego, go.
Yeah.
Separate show, Chris.
But I was thinking, the character's in Dora the Explorer, though. But, okay, so Yugo.
Yes. No.
What? Okay, I will.
No, I'm going.
You son of a bitch. He's gorgeous, and I was like, just be on screen, take your shirt off, and not speak. Yeah. Terrible actor.
Yes.
I don't like to pick on. I'm trying to get better about picking on people, but terrible actor. And just his whole story was dumb. Like they were going for the idea that he falls in love with someone who is a something that he and otherwise is totally abusive of. So he's going around like scrapping other cyborgs for parts, and he falls in love with one, and that's the whole like dynamic. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was so dumb. Of like, he's terrible. He's just flat out terrible. Like I get that she's born sexy yesterday, so of course this guy shows up.
Such a like, they didn't overly sexualize her.
No, I don't think they really sexualized her at all. Actually,
right? Mainly because she was just face skin.
She's just face. So, I mean, how do you feel that this stacks up amongst the born sexy yesterday tropes, though? Like, do you think that this went beyond and was able to like be better than that trope, or it fell flat in the middle of it?
It was the trope just without the sexualization. The trope without the trappings? Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, the scene that a lot of fans continue to reference, because it's I'm going to say this line a lot. It's very anime, mm-hmm. is when she tries chocolate for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, fans love it because that is the essence. Because, I mean, Born Sexy Yesterday is huge in Japanese culture. Yeah. And especially Japanese entertainment. Like, on such a scale... I'm honestly trying to think of a show that doesn't have that as a trope, and nothing is coming to mind. Like every show has that with at least one character.
It's all in there. But now I'm trying to remember. I feel like at no point though does Yugo have to save her.
Right.
Like so. I mean, because I guess that's part of it. Is that's a huge part of the trope is that this incredibly smart but naive and powerful woman shows up mm-hmm. who ultimately has to rely upon a generic man to save her.
Yeah. As generic as you could get.
Like the most generic ever. And I feel like they didn't really do that here. Like she has to be saved by the dad after her first body is destroyed. Mm-hmm. And then he puts her into the new one. That was
such a good scene.
What?
When she gets all cut up.
Yeah, and she still takes him out with just an arm. Look again, the action sequences are great, but like I guess at least in that regards, once she's in her new body, at that point she really is self-reliant, and I will give her credit that she, for the most part, has agency. Mm-hmm. She does what she wants to do, and rarely does it end poorly. Like, yeah, she gets her first body destroyed, but she still accomplishes what she has to do. So I think it did a decent job of surpassing or subverting that trope, I guess, depending on how you want to phrase it.
Yeah. Well, so kind of on a parallel note to that, what I loved about this story was in great Rodriguez fashion. This is a sci-fi story that focuses on such a small scale thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like it only affects a handful of people
in a very big world.
Yes, because the big event, the big bright blue light from the sky coming down event happened 300 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now it's just reacting to it.
Like, I was intrigued by the history. Like, I want to know more about what happened.
And I have a question about that in a second.
Okay. Like, I want to know more about that. But I thought, we've seen a lot of this sort of stuff before. It was like Elysium was like the same thing. It's like, oh, it's this like shitty downtrodden place and everyone wants to go up there. Mm-hmm. But we also never really see that city, so we're not sure why everyone wants to go. And it's also just kind of a hollow motivation, right? Like, that's Hugo's whole thing, is that he wants to go up there. And he keeps doing terrible things to do it, but because we're not sympathetic of why he's doing these things, well, I mean, he's just an asshole.
I mean, you don't have to see it to feel the not urgency of it, but the
draw.
Yes, it's just the promise of it. It's the promise of everything is better. Like it's the commercial. It's the advertising of it. It's your life down here sucks. You think it's okay, but it sucks. But if you go there, it's going to be better. But I guess how we don't know. It's just gonna be better.
But again, their lives down in the city didn't seem that bad.
Exactly. That's why it's the advertising of it.
There's a weird number of cybernetics there, like a lot of lost limbs. I'm not quite sure why, but
it's from the very dangerous sport.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Well, it's not Razor Ball.
Murder Ball? No, that's a different thing. Doesn't matter.
Murder Ball is Mad Max.
No, I think there's actually there's Rollerball, which is an actual movie. Doesn't matter.
What's the one they play in Thunderdome?
I've never seen Thunderdome. That might be Murder Ball. But like, look, because I don't know, I never found the motivation to go home that compelling. I think I bought it a little bit more with Jennifer Connelly's character. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't really buy into it. And so when Alita she goes to such great lengths to protect Hugo, even though he's terrible to her. And I just didn't like that he seems like he's going to, him getting hunted down by the bounty hunters and the police was so weirdly manufactured and just didn't work at all.
Yes.
Like, that's one of those things that could be resolved with a conversation. It had
this guy was cut in half. Maybe it was the guy without a sword did it.
Yeah,
the guy with the sword is telling us it's that guy.
Yeah, like that didn't make any sense to me. So, okay, we're going to like go up into, he wants to go up there, whatever. He gets hunted down. We think he's going to die. Alita cuts off his head and like keeps him alive off of her own heart.
Yeah.
And they give him a cyborg body. And then he's so mad. So then we've already
climbs up the...
Yeah, he climbs up the service tubes. We've already had a moment where we lost him and then got him back and then lose him again. And I was like...
that's the part of the movie that I say I would have wanted in the sequel, but it's also like... I also just didn't care enough.
That's the thing is I just never cared about him. Mm-hmm. And so I never cared about their dynamic. And I always thought that he was always not holding her back, but she was making far too many sacrifices for him and he wasn't deserving of it. Mm-hmm. And at no point does she ever really learn that lesson. She just still, even to the end, it's like, no, we'll be great.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Well, it's so my one of the points I want to make on this is I wanted to ask the question first. So with the world building, I think Weekly Planet brought this up. Instead of spending the first 3 minutes in films reading, in sci-fi films specifically, reading about the world in very slow title cards.
Yeah.
Would it be weird if when you walked into a theater they gave you like a little sheet of paper?
Yes.
You think it'd be weird?
I would read it, but who else would?
I would read it. Oh, yeah.
Outside of us, who would read it?
I think if it became standard, where like fans you would get lost if you didn't read this, or not lost, but you wouldn't. So I think the thing is it can't be a crux not a crux. It can't be a necessity, but you will get more out of the movie if you read this card.
But that already exists in terms of like tie-in comic books and novelizations, and like Alien Covenant had those like prequel films they put out and stuff like that. They did the same thing with Blade Runner 2049. It's like, yeah, there's always going to be additional material out there for real hardcore fans who are going to want to know more stuff going in, or like prologues. Like,
so I think that's the difference, though, is that stuff is for hardcore fans. If you give this to the casual moviegoer, that could turn them into a hardcore fan.
I don't think so. I think the casual moviegoer is not going to read it. I think they'd be like, I'm here to see a movie. Why am I having to do homework? Like, that's not what that is, but that's how people will see it.
I just want to be rewarded for getting to the movie theater early, Chris.
That's what the trailers are for.
No, before the trailers. Not those shitty commercials.
So you need entertainment before your entertainment?
Yes, that's why I bring my sketchbook.
God damn it. I don't think that would work.
Okay.
I just don't think it would land with people. I think they'd be like, and also I don't think that works as a filmmaking technique. Like, at the end of the day, your film has to be a self-contained piece of storytelling. And I think you can still do that while having long-form narratives like they've done with Marvel or Star Wars, or one of those things where the more you know, the better off you are. But I think especially for a first film in a franchise, you can't do that.
Okay.
No.
All right, it's understandable.
No.
It was a question.
Yeah.
It wasn't an opinion, but
How dare you?
So my last point on the film is I loved the overarching antagonist, Edward Norton.
No.
Because this movie is basically a story about finding your sense of identity. The first half of the movie is Alita trying to figure out who she is. The second half is her trying to be comfortable with what she's found out.
And so the villain of the movie is someone with no identity?
No, hold on. So the mom character, the Jennifer Connelly character, she also had a similar crisis of identity where after her daughter's death, she kind of walked down this dark path and wanted to take on the persona of a Zolom. That's the
Zoltan.
word. Zolom. Zolamite again. But then she was redeemed when she realized her identity rests in a mother figure and doctor figure. Does that make sense? And
yes.
He's a good looming villain because with that being the point of the story, your villain is someone that can remove that identity. He has the power to take away that sense of self and literally take over your body.
Okay, yeah, I guess on a thematic level it works.
The reveal, I didn't like the reveal. I'll say that.
Because it's not a reveal.
It's not a reveal.
This isn't Weekly Planet. It's not a reveal. It's just
Edward Norton.
I didn't even realize it's Edward Norton.
Same.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
He just looked like Michael Sheen in Tron Legacy. Like the bartender.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was. Napoleon or something.
Yeah, I would have rather him stayed kind of a shadowy figure for now.
I think it's a very fine line to introduce a franchise villain and
in the last 30 seconds.
Well, but it's like, look, Star Wars does it well because in A New Hope, it's Grand Moff Tarkin is the kind of one pulling the strings. Vader is the face of the antagonism. And then we are aware of the Emperor, right? Never meet him. But what this movie does, what a lot of clumsy franchise baiting movies will do, is the filmmakers know that eventually that's the villain we're going to get. So they set them up in a way that really has nothing to do with this movie. And also they divert attention away from the antagonist here. And I think it's weird that this movie lacked antagonism because the sort of conflict antagonists, all the other like bounty hunters and cyborgs and stuff is great, actually. Like those, again, I'll always say this, those fight scenes are incredible. But Mahershala Ali, as much as I love him, has like nothing to do.
Yeah, he was not great.
He has nothing to do in this movie, and it was just kind of like, either he was unnecessary or Edward Norton was unnecessary, but both of them combined were especially unnecessary.
Right.
And so once you get past the point where it feels like the climax of the story, we have to go back and have her fight Mahershala Ali, and I was mostly on board with it, especially until the end, but then it was getting real heavy into franchise baiting, and I was just like,
I know. I in my perfect movie, it would have ended like 30 minutes earlier.
yeah. Like, I don't hate it.
I love it.
I didn't hate it, but I was really bored through a lot of it, I have to admit. That being said, I mean, there's a lot of things I found impressive about it, but I was pretty bored.
I love it so much.
I know you
I want to see it again.
I know you
I need to give it more money so I can keep watching it.
But you said it broke even, right?
Yes. As of recording this, they're at about $375 million.
Okay. But it probably needs...
It needs a lot more.
It probably needs to hit, what, like 600,
this
700
is easily James Cameron's lowest grossing film.
Well, I don't know if that's actually true because he's only a producer on it.
That's true, yeah.
And I forget what other stuff he's produced.
Did he produce any of the other Terminators? Or after 2, was he just...
I'm not sure what...
Done.
He was probably... he would have to be credited, both for creating the characters. He may have had I don't know what his title would have been on that, what his credit would have been. He would have had something for writing, and then probably an executive producer title, if I were to just hazard a guess. I don't think he was actively involved, so I don't think he'd be a producer. By contrast, I think he's actually a full-on producer on the new Terminator film.
Okay.
Because he's actively involved in the same way he was actively involved in this. And I think you see that. Like, this clearly has his influence on it. And I think when his influence is there, it's strong, but it's also a little boring.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
I'm glad you liked it, Cameron.
Thanks for letting me talk about it for a few minutes.
I would actually be very curious what people thought about it. Because it is kind of a weird film. And I've basically met people who either loved it or hate it. So if you would like to tell us what you thought of Alita Battle Angel, if you'd like to tell us what you would think about being handed a pamphlet going into a movie, you can find us at Timm Talk Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail.
Yes.
I am at Lordifer on Twitter and Instagram. I haven't posted shit in a long time. So I don't know what you're going to expect to find there, but probably nothing.
Hey, it's fine.
Oh, actually, wait, hang on. That's not true. Did I cross-post it? But, I mean, I'm going to self-plug real fast. Get your mind out of the gutter, Cameron. New episode of Gay It Forward.
Yeah, that's you could promote that.
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't promote that.
Yeah, we did an episode called New Year, New Queer, about 2 months into the year.
Nice. It's about season 3 of Queer Eye?
It is.
Great.
I did not watch the trailer for that. I've only seen like one episode of Queer Eye anyways. Again,
I think I've also only seen one episode of Queer Eye.
The fact that I am woefully ignorant of gay pop culture is in fact the whole point of the podcast. But yeah, we had CJ on to talk about New Year, New Queer, and it's really, really fun. Yes, that's linked in the show notes. You can go check that out. And we're Gay It Forward Pod, I think, on Instagram.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
If you want to find me, right, I'm
You
on
can do
Instagram. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. If you want to find my art, you can find that at Cameron.Dexter. I've been drawing a lot of the new Pokemon because they just announced Gen 8 we got the first 3 starters, and so I've been drawing Score Bunny over and over again for the entire weekend. I'll post some of those soon. And if you want to see my face and my adventures, you can find that at CamDexter_adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. That's me.
That's it. Obviously back next week with Captain Marvel is this week.
It is.
Oh, we gotta figure something out to do with that.
I'm out of town.
I know, you're out of town the weekend. We're gonna see it together, and then you're going out of town. We'll think of something. But certainly next time we talk about Batman, we'll also do our season 2 short list.
Yes.
Since we didn't have time to prepare for it this week. But yeah, look forward to more Batman Beyond. Look forward to our short list. Look forward to Captain Marvel.
We are looking forward to it.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.